You know, a few days ago, I believe it was over the weekend, one Beyonce held a concert. She was on concert tour. And I'm sure you've all heard what happened. And at first I wasn't going to do a video on it. But then I got to thinking as I began to read more of her anger over what this fan had done to her. And I've seen video clips of it. Maybe some of you have seen video clips of it as well. I think it's much to do about nothing. But when you really put it in context and you understand how black women, and I've said this, I've been very consistent with this, black women, because of their argumentative, boisterous, dysfunctional nature, have fallen to the bottom of the dating food chain. Nobody wants them. And when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about women in the hood. I'm talking about your college-educated, college-trained black females. This is the reason why all of them are single. Even after obtaining what society said she needed to get to make her an eligible candidate. She has her own car, she has her own home, she has her own career, she makes her own money, yet and still nobody wants them. And I've said this before, even the size, her big 65-inch floppy ass can't save her decline. And the reason why this is because the black woman has become her own worst enemy. And the reason why this whole incident with Beyonce is comical to me is because when you take into consideration how the black woman projects herself, she supports programming that depicts her as an oversexed bedwitch. This is the programming that she watches. The music that she listens to depicts her as a hot whore who's only good to be bent over and rolled for a few moments and then kicked out of bed. This is the music that she buys. She bumps it in her car. She has her children in the back seat. She's listening to it. They know the words to this music. And they don't even know their times tables. When you look on Instagram, you look on Facebook, and you look on other social networking sites, all of these women, when they take pictures, they take them from the rear or from the side. They're showing off their ass. They're showing off their big 75-inch cellulite-filled floppy ass because that is the only thing that she has of value. There's nothing else that she has to offer. You can't talk to the average black female about world events, geopolitical issues. You can't discuss with her current events or have her have an intelligent conversation about what's going on in the community. Those are conversations you can't have with that typical black female. And when I say typical, I'm not saying it's all like that, but it's a very large majority of them. You can't hold these types of dialogues with these sisters. The only thing that you can do with her is to bend her over and use her for what she has projected herself for being, an ass. And this is the reason why when you look at the whole incident with Beyonce, it's funny. I mean, why would you get upset? Why would you get offended because somebody smacks you on your ass when that is what you're known for? This is what you promote. You don't promote the fact that your vocal skills because you have very average vocal skills unless you're in a studio. So you don't promote the fact that you can sing and you don't need a cappella, you don't need any studio, you can blow, and you don't support it because that's not what you're known for, Beyonce. You're known for being an oversexed, supercharged ass. So when you get close to fans and you're performing and one of the fans decide to reach out and smack you on that ass, why would you get offended? Why would that upset you? When that's what you promote yourself, that's what you project yourself as an ass. And it's the same with these other sisters. You know, for all of you brothers, the next time that you're in the office and you see that one sister, and y'all all know who I'm talking about, you know, she comes to work dressed like she's going to a strip club or a bar. She has a big 65-inch floppy ass, but she wears these tight skirts. showing off again the only thing of value that she has. She's not hired there and known for her productivity on the job, being a good co-worker, a team player, on time, getting things done. She's not known for that. What she's known for is everybody watches for her to see what she's going to wear today, because she dresses just like a typical whore, showing off the fact that she has wide hips and a big fat ass. So again, just like that fan did with Beyonce, the next time that you're in the office and you see her, you know what woman I'm talking about. Y'all all know what I'm talking about. And you see her, maybe she's coming from lunch, or you're going to lunch, or maybe y'all going to lunch at the same time. When you're standing there at the elevator waiting for it to open, once y'all both step in and the door closed, smack on that ass. Yeah, because that's what she's known for. If she can get offended, she's going to have to laugh, because she knows that that's what she's promoted, that's what she's projected, that is what she has everybody looking at and drooling over, is the fact that she has a big ass. This is why on Facebook, when she posts pictures, they're from the rear. This is the reason why Instagram pictures are always shots of her ass. This is the only thing she has to offer. There's nothing else she's bringing to the table. I don't know when you brothers are going to understand this. Y'all can keep trying to play with these heifers if you want to, thinking that you're going to wife her and all of a sudden she's going to become Einstein. No, it ain't going to happen. She has a big 55 to 60 inch floppy ass. That's what she is. That's all she'll ever be. So therefore, the next time you see her, on that ass. Yeah. And all she's going to do is be able to look and giggle and laugh. She can't, you ain't got to worry about being called into human relations, because they already know. They're going to already know, well, that's that black woman. And, we don't want to tell her that she can't wear them tight skirts and form-fitting clothes, because we don't want her to cry racism. So we just let her dress like a hooker and a whore. So all of you guys, you know what woman I'm talking about. In your office, the next time you see her, you catch her by the water cooler. She's bent over getting a drink of water. Just walk up behind her on that ass. Yeah, and do to her like that fan did to Beyonce. And Beyonce gets upset. Well, I'll have you escorted out of here. Why? Why would you have him escorted out of there when all he's doing is acting upon what you have projected? You have projected yourself as an oversexed big ass. So therefore, if I get close to it, that ass over. And it's just the way it is. You can't get offended by this, women. I don't understand what the big roar is about. You women have allowed yourselves to be brought down to the level of just an inanimate object. You have no problem with it. Y'all didn't get up in arms and with Nelly and his tip drill video when he took that credit card and slapped it between that black chick's ass cheeks and she started wiggling her ass. Y'all liked that. Y'all laughed. Y'all thought that was funny. So now the next time you see that, if you were to see that same sister out somewhere, whether it's going into church, because this is what the pastor does. The pastor calls her in there doing them counseling sessions. You don't think for a moment that as soon as them sisters walk back there behind that office with that pastor, he don't on that ass? Sure he does. This is what happens. Everybody knows this. This is well documented. I don't know why everybody should be surprised by it. It is what it is. So again, I don't understand what all the uproar is about with this whole incident of Beyonce being smacked on her ass. This is what you projected. You have never seen anybody smack Alicia Keys on her ass. You ain't never seen nobody slap, Christina Aguilera on her ass. You ain't never seen it. And I know what y'all gonna say. Well, they don't have an ass like Beyonce, but that's not the point. We're talking about what they project. And they project a certain type of class. Sure, they may push the envelope, and there's some sexuality involved there, but there's still class. If that was Alicia Keys shaking hands with those fans, not one of them guys would have even thought twice about reaching up, slapping her on her ass. Wouldn't have happened. But you, Beyonce, this is what you're known for. You gyrate around at the halftime of the Super Bowl. You're on the cover of GQ. This is what you're known for. This is what you project. So therefore, if I get close to you and you're performing, I'm going to do to you to what you are. That ass over. And it's the same with these sisters. And that's how you have to start dealing with them. Because, again, it is what it is.